Hey y'all, it's Sarah. I have a fun kind of Valentine's / anytime craft to share with you guys today. And if you're an old school scrapbooker like me, you're probably going to recognize kind of this design that I'm turning into wall art. Simply because I think most of us have done it as a scrapbooker. But let me jump in and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be using some Dollar Tree Readi-board brand foam core. Mine is cut down to 12 by 12. And for me on this one, I'm actually using these guys, these foam stickers that look kind of like the candy word art. But there's some other options. They have this table scatter, but it is not pre-sticky. You'd have to glue it down. And then they have the wood option, which is bigger. So you'd probably want to cut your overall piece a little larger. The colors that I'm using are Waverly Cashew and Waverly Crimson. And the last thing I'm going to be using is I've got 4 strips of 1-inch faux wood painted foam core. If you're curious about these videos, they are kind of their own thing that teaches how to do this paint finish. But for those of us that have been playing along with this, most of us have some scrap pieces around. Mine are straight up 1 inch wide and 12 inches long to frame this piece out. And that's pretty much everything. If you don't understand what I'm talking about with the foam core, this is what I'm talking about, is this Readi-board brand white foam core. This is found in the office supplies, school supplies kind of area right next to the poster board in those little wire racks at your local Dollar Tree. Walmart carries them, Dollar General carries them, so lots of places if you can't find it. Okay, so I'm ready to jump in. I want to try to make this one really quickly. So I'm going to move some things out of the way and show you where I cheated, because I have a whole bunch of things I want to try to finish today. So here is what I did. I came in with these, ooh, my bag's got a hole in it, these little sticky hearts, and I used these because they were sticky, and I just came in on the back side on a piece of wax paper and removed just a little bit of that backing so that I could get it to stick down. In order to paint all of my little pieces, you're going to need 15 of the hearts in cashew if you're doing kind of this color scheme. I think it'd be fun to do all of your hearts in maybe the ink color and then do one in the crimson. But I've got 16 ready and prepped. And it took me about 2 coats of the cashew to do this. I tried to pick colors that I felt would cover the easiest. So like the white and the yellow and the blue. And that's kind of where I ran with it. But any of them, if you put enough paint on them, it's going to cover them. One thing I want to show really quick, though, when you go to peel these up, I don't know if you can see, that chalk paint leaves kind of a rough little edge. So all I did was take just a sanding block, a really fine one, and come in and knock that little bit of paint chipping off so that I have a much cleaner looking heart. If you've got wooden hearts to do this, do that with, but there are 90 of these things in here. It's a lot of fun little things that you could do with 90 of these. So I'm going to move that over and show you kind of how I laid this thing out, or how I plan to lay this out. There is definitely a hole in my bag, and there goes a few more. So I'm going to pull out 15 of my nicest looking ones. And try not to bend these once they've been painted, because you'll crack your paint finish. And they're still just a little bit sticky, so I don't want to push them down just yet until I get my design laid out. I need to do my red one. I don't know if you can see those edges I was talking about. There we go. I know that one's going to go somewhere around there. Get the ones that I've already sanded the edges off and pop these little guys down. Oh, oh, oh. They're much stickier than you would actually think. They definitely, even after having paint on them, they are still super, super sticky. So here's where I am with my design. And what I've done is just kind of laid my ruler right here where I can get my little hearts pretty much aligned. I made a small little mark here at 3 inches up, and I've got my ruler lined 3 inches to the side so that I can mostly get this straight. And this is not even really that hard to do. You're just going to come in, and I really wrinkled that one. And just use the adhesive backs to put those down. I'm going to go ahead and get all of mine attached. Once I get this row attached, I'm just going to pop my ruler right here so that I know kind of how far up, let me move that, kind of how far up that I need to come with this star right, or this heart right here. And then I can just kind of balance it from there. And I'm going to go ahead and get all of these stuck down and show you what I'm doing with my frame. Okay guys, so I've got the main part of mine laid out. Everything's kind of where I wanted it as far as my really neutral little hearts here. So I wanted to show you a couple of things. Here's the glitter table scatter ones that I was telling you about. This is a 60 piece. And they come in 2 different sizes and 2 different colors. And I wanted to show, they're really, really sparkly. I wanted to show a couple options. So you could always go with a slightly bigger one. This is my little worded candy heart that I just painted with crimson. And this is the smaller sparkly one. And I think I may be kind of favoring that one, and I'm not really sure, but I'm going to keep both of them close by. The other thing is I wanted to show you some framing options. So at this stage, I went ahead, all of my edges are painted so that I don't have any white showing here. The only thing that I'll have to touch up is the ends, depending on how I decide I'm going to frame this. Because I got a little inspired as I was just laying my pieces out, I wanted to show you this as far as kind of the scroll-like look. So you'd want to touch up your paints here on the end of this, more similar to this. And you'd have a nice little scroll piece. You could pop in with maybe a little bit of twine at the top to attach it and hang it from. If you've seen me do my metal triangular ones that can be hung here from the top using just regular household coat hangers, something like that would be really fun. I wanted to show you could just come in, trim those down, and have a really basic frame that just kind of butts its ends to end. That's a really simple way to go. This look works with that, I think. You can always come in and miter them and kind of get that mitered edge look. But the more I have sat here and kind of played with this, I think I am going to choose, I don't know, that sparkle still really talks to me. I'm going to tell you, all of these Dollar Tree glittery pieces, they are super fabulous, and they have a super lot of fallout, so be prepared. I think this may be the direction I'm kind of wanting to go, so I'm just going to trim just the ends of these down so that I can get my frame to kind of bump up against each other like that. You decide how you're going to do yours, and I'm going to show you what I end up with right at the end. So this is where I'm at now. I have gone ahead and attached all my side pieces, and you can see I just did it where I bumped them up against each other. I wanted to show a quick idea. If you haven't seen all of the other foam core videos, this is a really cute way to embellish things like your corners on your frame. This is just some carpet tacks from Walmart. In the tool area, you can look, they look very rustic, like little tiny rustic nails, and they can pop right through your foam core. So that's a really cute way to embellish. I'm just leaving mine as is. I'm going to pop back out. Okay, I hope I didn't make you guys dizzy. I wanted to show you the last thing that I came in to do is just got my sponge, went along all those edges so that when I look around this thing, or if I have it on the wall from the side, all of those things, it just looks like one solid piece. You can always go in and completely finish out your back if you'd like. And there you go. This is very much a kind of traditional look for me. It's at that 12 by 12 scale that I've always scrapbooked in. This is a very, it's a known kind of look, this grid pattern of hearts. You've seen it a million times in the scrapbook world. I wanted to turn it into a little inexpensive piece of wall art. I've got a couple more that I want to go along with it, and I hope you guys will check those out. And maybe something about this gives you some ideas, at least using those bulk packages of the Dollar Tree items like this. You can always use them for goodie bags and things like that, but then it only took 16 of these in order to make this cute little thing. So that's all I got on this one. I hope that you guys get a chance to do a little crafting today. And if you haven't popped over to the Facebook Peppermint Cactus group, check out what's going on over there. So many really cool projects getting posted. It will blow your mind. I hope to talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.